Hi, this lecture is about multimodal search using Azure AI Search and Azure Vision. So, the agenda for today is that we'll do an image similarity search, we'll do a multimodal similarity search, we'll do an image search using Azure AI Search, and a multimodal search using Azure AI Search. In all these cases, we will be using Azure AI Computer Vision. So the first is a similarity image search. You see an image of a Brabant apple, which is a kind of an apple, and you see the description of it that it has a touch of red and orange vertical streaky appearance on a yellow green background. When we try to search on this image, and if we have some images like this, we'll try to find similarly images and we find that a Jonah Gold apple image appears. It is a large apple and it has got benefits. So that's how you take this image and you search on a similar image, it gets a different kind of an image of a different type of an apple, which is a Jonah Gold apple. We'll see this in action. Similarly, for multimodal search, what we will do is that we'll search for clothes and we'll get uh, this picture of the lady with clothes. So, how are we going to do a similarity image search? So, the first step is that we create the Azure Computer Vision resource. We create the image embedding using Azure AI Vision, and then we do a cosine similarity search between any two pair of images with the image embedding. So let's get this in action right away and jump into how we will do it. So here we are. So we have already created an Azure AI Vision resource, and this is AG Vision 001. That is a resource, it is a computer vision resource, and we are here and we have this endpoint. We require this endpoint and we require the keys here. So the keys are here. We grab the keys from here. We'll choose the endpoint from here. So that's it, and then we'll see of how we can do it. So first is that we should install certain libraries, and these are the libraries we would be requiring. You see it in action, the Azure Search, Python, Tenacity, Azure Identity will require the scikit-learn. We do not require the Streamlit at this point. Then let's jump into this image search. Here we have these imports, and then we do load of the environment variables. We require the Azure AI Vision API key, the Azure AI Vision region, the Azure AI Vision endpoint, which you can grab from here. So that's about the vision part. And then what we do is that we do a get image vector, and this is very important. This is the one that we would be using to generate the embeddings. So this get image vector, we are getting the headers here, the parameters here, and if the image is an HTTP, we'll get the content type as JSON and we'll dump the image path. But if it is a local file, which in this case is that we'll read the image and we'll get to the data out here. Now, next what we do is that we create the connection with the HTTPS connection with the computer vision API, and this is the API that we are having, and we are getting a request to this a computer vision API, and there is a vectorized image with this version, and we are going to send this with the parameters, the body, and the headers. So this is very important. Please note it. It is vectorizing the image, and the that is what it is doing. And then it is the usual stuff. We get the response, we load the response, and that's about it. And we get the vector. So these are the files which are there. These are the files that there is a couple of files. There is this Apple files and the image files are there. Then what we are doing is that we will do the image embeddings here. So, and then we get the directory path here. We get the full path of the images. So we're just testing this out, and for each of these images we are getting the image embeddings and we are putting it into a dictionary. Okay, so the key is this, and we are getting the image embeddings here. Now we are doing a cosine similarity between the Brabant JPEG. That is what we have seen here. This one, the Brabant image here, that is what we have seen. And we are trying to find out a similar image for that. So what we are doing is that we are getting this Brabant JPEG file, and we are getting the image embeddings of this, and we are storing it in this array. And then we are doing a cosine similarity. If you uh, have not watched my lecture on embeddings and cosine similarity, please do watch it. We've explained in detail what is an embedding and a cosine similarity. And here we are getting the similarity values. So the similarity values, as you perhaps know, that the cos of a value ranges from 0, -1 to 1, or the best value is the one which is around 1, and the low value is around 0. So here we are getting this thing, the similarity scores, then we are sorting it, and then we are getting the first one which is has the highest similarity, which is the Jonah Gold. And then we are displaying the image. So this is the first image, which is the, and then we are having this other image which is the Jonah Gold JPEG. Okay, so this is a similarity, and this is a Jonah Gold image that we are finding keys one, because what is happening is that when you are passing it the Brabant JPEG, the first one is the image itself and the next one is the Jonah Gold. So that is why you see here we are getting the keys as 1, not as 0. So we are displaying it here. Next part is something more interesting. We'll generate the embeddings here. Here, the embeddings is on text. So here, please see the endpoint has changed here. The endpoint is vectorized text. Previously, if you note, what was the vectorize? It was the vectorized image. It was the vectorized image. Now it is the vectorized text. So we are using vectorized text here, and then we are doing the params, then we are doing the headers, and then we pass the request with the URL, the params, headers, and the JSON. And here we pass the text as winter clothes, then we generate the embeddings. We just verify the embeddings here that they are coming on. And the length is 1024. We just put it in a list, and then again we do a cosine similarity with the text embedding that is here. You see that it is a text embedding, and then what we are doing is that we are doing a cosine similarity with the text embedding and the image embeddings. And then we are getting this value, and as usual, we are getting it, and then we are sorting it again with reverse equal to true, so that the first one comes, and then these images come into picture. You see these images which are coming in, and the images are coming in. It's very surprising that for winter clothes an apple is coming at the fourth position, but that's fine, at least we are getting these images. So this session, what we will do is that we will create the image search using AI search and Azure AI Vision. We've already created the Azure AI Vision resource. What we should do now is that we should create the Azure AI Search resource. We then create the image embedding using Azure AI Vision. Let's get my pointer. So this is what we have to do here. And then what we do here in the step C is that we create the index in Azure AI Search, and then we load the data, which is image embeddings, into the Azure AI index, AI search index. And then in step D, that is the last step, we'll search the images in Azure AI Search. So all this is theory. Let's jump into action and see of how this is done. So let's jump in. And so I've already created an Azure AI search resource, which is AG Search 001. What we need is that we need the endpoint, which is here. We have to note this endpoint. And what we need is that we need the keys. And the keys you can grab from here. Should copy the keys from here. So that's about it. And the first step is that we should create the embeddings. That is the step that is here, create the image embedding. So what we do is that this is the first step. So create embeddings. This is the first thing. So first thing is import the required libraries, and you import it, and then you need these before we go into the Azure AI search, what we need to, these are the most important things we require at this point. The Azure AI Vision keys, the API key, the vision origin, the vision endpoint. The file path is images, and then we do the get image vector, which we have explained before, and then we get the files are here. We get the image embeddings, and then we iterate through the image embeddings to create this dictionary. So this we had seen before, and then what we do is that we create a list of these embeddings. And if you see that we are not only putting the image vector out here, but what we are also doing is that we are putting in some metadata. We're putting it an ID, which is just a simple counter. We'll put a description, which is the name of the file, and we are creating this list. And once the list is done, we just put it into a JSON file which has the embeddings and the metadata. So you can see the embeddings down here. You see it is 0, description is this, and this is a huge image vector that we are having. So we scroll down. So if I do ID colon, you can see the 16 ones. So this is ID1, ID2, and you can see all these images. So this is all loaded. Next, what we have to do is that the step number C, that is the load data into the index. But before we load data into the index, what we have to do is that we have to create the index. So that's next step. So now at this point, we do not have any indexes here. We do not have any indexes. You can see it here. We'll wait for some time. So no indexes are here. So we'll create the index. So that is the next step. So for that, we require this this file, and we require the Azure AI resource. So first step is import the libraries. So libraries are imported, and now we require these things, these keys. We require the Azure search service endpoint. We require the Azure search index name. We require the search admin key. I think we don't require the API version, but that's fine. Let's see how this happens. So we'll do it as this is live. So we are executing this. So this is loaded. So this is done. And then what we are doing, we'll create the search index. And if you see how we are creating the search index, we are creating an ID, that is a simple field. The search field is description. And then we are creating the search field. This is important, an image vector. And then we are saying searchable is true. The dimensions is 1024. The vector search profile is my HNSW profile. And we are creating the my HNSW profile in this manner. We're creating the vector search configuration, which an HNSW vector search algorithm configuration, and an exhaustive KNN vector configuration. And then we are putting the, the vector search profile as my NHSW. So this is the one, that is we are creating the my NHSW profile is here. So this is the my NHSW algorithm. So we'll use the my NHSW, then we create the index with the fields and the vector search, and let's create it. So it is creating this. So the image indexes is created. So since it is created, can we just go in and search here? Let's refresh this. So indexes should come here. So this is the indexes. The document count is 0 because we have not inserted any documents. Now what we will do is that we'll open the docvectors.json. It is all loaded now here. And then we upload these documents. So let's upload these documents. Let's see. So he has uploaded 16 documents and we should see it here. So if I do an image index here, so it's still not refreshed maybe. Maybe it takes some time to get refreshed. Okay, so it's still not refreshed. We'll see whether it should get refreshed. Oh, it has got it. Maybe it was not here. But we can see the fields here. So these are the fields. These are the semantic configurations. We did not have semantic configurations. We have vector profile here. So we have this index and it has got these documents. You see 16 documents are here. So that's done. So we have completed this step C. We have loaded the data into the index. What we'll do now, we'll search the images. So let's go to this notebook and we'll search the images down here. So this is the image search thing. And before we go into the image search thing, so I think we are covered with theory. So let's go and search the images. So here is the thing. We'll import the libraries. We are doing it live. We load all the keys. Now note here that we are using both the Azure AI Search and the Azure AI Vision. So we are getting the search client here and we are querying for this image, which is pic01.jpg. I will put all these images in the GitHub. So pic01.jpg is this image. It is some winter clothes out here. It's nice that VS Code displays the images very nicely. So that is what we are searching the images. And we again go back to the get image vector, which we had explained before. So I'll not explain it again. So we are using the get image vector again. So that's done. And now we are using the raw vector query, which says that the field is image vector and we are getting the image vector from here, which is that vector embedding of that image. And we create the vector query here. We're creating the vector query. And then now we are performing the search and we say that k is equal to 3, meaning it should return the 3 most nearest matches. Now, if you see here, the search text is none and the vector query is a vector query and select is the description. So that's it. So now we have got it and then we should print the results. So search results. So this is the image that is being searched and what are the results? So let's see. So this is the dir path. We just get it. And for results, so it's executing. So for results, it is getting the pic04. This is the one. Sorry. We are here. We are getting the pic01.jpg, which is the actual image. Then we are getting this image, which is this similar image because it's a winter clothes. It's coming up with this winter clothes and then this image. So this completes our image search problem. So in summary, what we have done is actually these 4 steps. We created the Azure AI Search, we have created the Azure AI Vision, we created the image embedding using Azure AI Vision, We created the index, we push local data into the index, and then we search the images using Azure AI search. Next, what we will see is something more interesting, which is a multimodal search. Here, the difference is that here we'll search the images using a text. The same step as before, but now what we do is that we are creating the Azure AI search and the Azure AI vision, which is already created for us. We create the image embeddings and store them in the Azure AI search, and then the query is now a text. So for that, we'll create a text embedding which is with Azure AI vision, and we now use the text embedding and search the images with the text embedding. Let's see it in action and you will see what I am actually meaning to do. So here what I'll do is this. I'll continue with this notebook here, but I'll do a different kind of thing, which is the generate embeddings, which you had seen before in this lecture. Here, see the difference here. It is using vectorized text here for the Azure AI Vision. And here we were using, if you see, the image, vectorized image. So for that, our query now is this one. Query is a woman, which is a text here. We generate the embeddings here with the Azure AI Vision. So it is creating a vector text. So this is a vector again. And then we again use the vector query as before to create a vector embedding here. And then what we are doing is that, oh, let's actually run it. Query is a woman. We create the vector text. Okay, so let's explore this. What is this vector text? Vector text, if I just do this and say maybe print out the 10. Yes. So these are the vector text. I just printed out all these things. And if I just say len vector text, it does. So it's around 1024. So again, we are creating the vector query here as before using the vector text, and now we are again using, so now we are using the search client which has the embeddings of the images. It had the embeddings of the images when we loaded it, and now we are using the vector query now. And now what will happen is that we'll search the results. So it's searching the results, and you see when you put a woman, so this is the images, it prints out all the woman figures that is there. So if you say clothes here, let's see whether it finds out. So it still finds these things. Okay, that is very nice. If I say apples, will it change? So this is an apple. So it prints out this apple. Unfortunately, it prints out the first as this lady, but actually it prints out the apples. So in short, this is what is happening. We have done a multimodal search using the query, the text as the query field, and now we are getting the images back. Hope you like this lecture. Thank you.